Hello, everybody. It's me, Tracy, and normally I would be doing this on Thursday, but um, I had I had to go to the ER on Thursday. So this broadcast or last Thursday was supposed to be my top idiots of 2021 countdown, and I didn't get to do it obviously because I was in the ER. So before I get started, I want to thank everybody for subscribing last year. Those who support me on Patreon for supporting me. Bigger things are coming for 2022. And so we're going to get started. And I'm going to bring Theus on here. So, hello.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes. Good
Yes.
tidings and all the wonderful things.
Oh no, you're in a good mood. Oh no, that means that could mean two things. Either you've drank way too much,
No.
or well, no, really, that's what I thought it would, man.
I got nothing. I am bone dry.
What?
Just me and my water.
Yeah, I got water too. I was just thanking everybody and explaining why I couldn't be here last Thursday. Again, I had this whole show planned for Thursday, but health said, no, you don't. So
take care of you first. You can't take care of us if you ain't taking care of you.
Hey, you got that right. It's only one of me. I got one of me, and that's it.
Yep.
Y'all don't have an identical. Could you imagine having like an identical you? Like somebody that was just like you? That would annoy me.
That'd be so awesome. We would get together, we would game plan, and then we would break and go our separate directions. Oh, it would be wonderful.
That would be like, not that I think I'm an annoying person, but that's probably why I don't have children, because people always say, oh, parents, you get punished with children that are just like you. Because
or rewarded.
I'm very stubborn. Like, you're not gonna tell me nothing. I'm like, oh well, that's what I believe, and you could just go fly by night and I don't care. I can't imagine dealing with somebody like that, and that's who I am. I'm like, don't know if I can deal with that.
It's an interesting experience because I have 3 daughters, and all 3 of them, biology is interesting, right? I call it like the ghost in the machine, where weird little pieces of you show up in them, But one of them, she is definitely my upgrade. So sometimes I just have to tap out. I just be like, okay, you got me. You out-me'd me today, so I'm gonna, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think as I get older, I keep wondering, when did I start sounding like my mother? I'm like, that's what I think me and my sister were talking about this. I'm like, when did we get old? It really literally seems like I graduated high school, I blinked my eyes, and now I'm almost 50. I'm like, what happened? What happened? It's just like time just flies.
And it speeds up each year.
Dang it, though. I'm like, wait a minute. I know I was just 18. I know I had full hair and black hair. It was all there, and I just woke up one day. I'm like, what happened?
I think it's work, because I think what happens is our perception of time changes. Like when you're a kid, you have no responsibilities, no duties. The only real concept of time is the school year, and it takes 9 months. So it seems to last forever. And then you start working, and time becomes 2-week intervals because you're just trying to get to the next check. And it just goes fast at that point. It's wild.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, I know I'm not old. I don't feel old, but dang, I need help getting up. I'm like, wait a minute, let me grab onto this. Oh,
yeah. Like, oh, wait a minute. Well, I know it's about to rain.
No, I haven't gotten that far. Like, oh, my knees are hurting. Oh, it's going right. No, I have not. Yeah. So, in case you don't know, this show is my top idiots of the year. I'm not doing a countdown per se, because I want to do it like, basically it's going to be, okay, we're all nominating these people. And then at the end, I'm just going to, and you can chime in with yours too. Um, we're just going to name who it is that's like, this person is just number one, or these persons are number one. And I got to start it off with the Gorilla Glue Girl. What, what? When you, I want to say this to my non-white audience to figure out why she did this. So she apparently got this brilliant idea that the best way to keep her edges, those little things around your forehead, those little hairs that pop up, to flatten her edges, instead of using, I don't know, gel like a normal black person would, she decided, you know what? Gorilla Glue. That keeps anything down. Despite it on the package saying this is not to be used on you, she decided, you know what, my edges need to be laid down, and proceeded not to just put on her edges, her whole head. What?
Yeah, that was pretty dumb.
I'm like, girl, what? And then she had nerve to sue the company. I'm like, really? How you gonna sue them? How you gonna sue them for you being stupid? You put it on your head. You did that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, in our economy, you can come up off of being stupid. If you're stupid at the right time, you can come up off of that. So she got free surgery. She got, all the YouTube likes and clicks, which translates to money, and and then I think she got addicted to it, because wasn't she in the news just recently for something else stupid? So it's just.
Oh, wait a minute, she did something else. Oh
she
no,
was in the news just recently, but I don't know what it was she was doing, because I don't really stay up on pop culture or current events too tight. But yeah, it's just. I look at it and it's like, I want so much to help lead our people through the darkness. But we have folks out hiding batteries in the bushes, man. And it's like, flashlight ain't gonna work because you keep hiding. I don't know. It's tough.
Hey, Marlon.
Hey, Marlon.
Sorry you couldn't be here, but, take care of you. But we miss you.
Absolutely.
D is more than me, but, I'm just saying. No, I'm joking.
I do miss you, Marlon. I miss you, man.
Okay, so the next idiot has got to be the dude that married his own goddaughter. What in the Woody Allen Star Nation is going on with this sucker that married his own goddaughter? What?
I don't know if that was stupid. That's more like criminal and disgusting. But hey. Yeah. What was stupid was the mom.
Oh, yes, because she was like, oh, I used to date him. I'm like,
y'all don't understand and blah, blah, blah. I understand that he's dating your daughter.
Your child is 18. He married her weeks after. Not, maybe a month after, maybe 2 months after, maybe 9 months after. No, he immediately married her when
And I think they had a child.
Yeah, I think she has like 3. First of all, what you doing having 3 children at 18? Okay, that's not me being judgmental. I'm just saying you a child.
I can be
yourself.
Judgmental off of that. No, I can be judgmental off of that, because first one you made, whatever, but you know where they come from. But that's not the end of your life though. You can bounce back from it. It's just, why complicate things if you don't have to?
You 18, you just starting. You just getting started. Yeah. And now she's got to raise a baby, raising 3 more babies.
Assuming that she's the one raising them. Because a
it.
lot of times when
I hope it's not the grandmother. Oh,
yeah, I hope not, because that's a train wreck.
Oh my goodness, that would be terrible. I'm like, oh gosh, this gave me Woody Allen vibes. I'm like, look, he should be in jail. There should be something. And of course, it happened in our idiot state, Florida. Why not? I mean, just why not?
Yeah, good weather. People, the stupid just likes to kind of cluster.
I know, it's like they all just say, okay, let's live in Florida. Okay, so I'm having a hard time thinking of this next idiot, and I can never say her name right. But Lori Boebert, I can never say her name.
Boebert, yeah. Yeah.
Who? See, she lucky. She didn't say that about me,
What
cause
did she
I
say?
got a. She said Ilhan Omar was a. She
Oh,
made a
terrorist.
jihadist joke, and
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I keep asking myself, how do these people get elected?
Because
But
there's a lot more people like them.
yeah, that's what. Like, where did these people come from?
They've always been there. They've always been around us. We just didn't want to acknowledge it. Well, some people didn't want to acknowledge it. I've always acknowledged it.
I just guess I was just ignoring them because I'm like, what? Just, just, it's just
I mean, and then she's failed her way to success.
she, she is Marlon, but because that's my next one coming up. But she just, I mean, ugh. If she had called me a terrorist, well, I told y'all what I would do. I would just show the clip of her in that little commercial where she was carrying that gun, and to my she wanted to kill Nancy Pelosi. I'd be like, now that's a terrorist. I
I
didn't do
mean,
that.
to me, Boebert is more like Sarah Palin's next version. You know, that's what I kind of see her as. And because Marjorie Taylor Greene is disgusting on so many levels, but she's a different kind of disgusting, right? She's like, to me, Boebert is like mean girl cheerleader, you know, spoiled, always get your way, just nasty and dumb. But Marjorie Taylor Greene is like the ultra Karen, right? You ain't even cute. You're not, there's nothing. You weren't even popular. You just mean. You're just
Maybe
mean.
that's why she's like that, though. If you think about it,
I don't know.
because she,
I've stopped trying to figure out people like that. So
and I know you heard what she said about Kwanzaa.
no, I didn't.
Oh, okay. So she said that Kwanzaa was a holiday created by racists. And what else did she say about Kwanzaa? Once I read that first sentence, I'm like, you know what?
Yeah. But anything that doesn't center whiteness is a problem to people like her.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Oh
Karen,
yeah.
Karen with a Q. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, but look at this country. Um, Not to get all into my side of the things, but um, this country hates us. I mean, and it always has. And when we start pretending like it's not, then we're not ready to fight the fight that's in front of us.
Yep.
So here we are looking at, oh my gosh, how are these people acting like this? And look how crazy they're acting and all that type stuff. But this is the nation's history. It's like, this is what it is. And just because it was not socially acceptable for 30 years, it was only 30 years. How old is this country?
True.
So,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's so disheartening.
Yeah. Thank you for the correction, Marlon. Yeah, she said it was a fake holiday. Of course, she said that lasers that the Jews built caused the forest fires in California. But hey, I mean,
But see, that's just it. That's why I keep coming back to how we have to uncenter whiteness. And that doesn't mean you have to center blackness, because this is a beautiful kaleidoscope of colors on this planet. No one should be center, except within your culture. Within your culture, you center your culture, because you do need to always fight for your people. But as far as on a national scale, we have to uncenter the white culture, the European culture. Because if not, this is what we're fighting against. We're fighting against someone who comes out who has no educational value, who is pure hate and anger and vitriol, and says things that even a sixth grader would be looked at crazy for saying. But we give it credence and we act like it's important because it came from a white woman.
we do that. We really do that.
If some other member of the house, no, but if some white guy in the house said the exact same thing that Marjorie Taylor Greene said, it wouldn't register the same way. It took someone like Marjorie and Boebert to come in at the same time in this new class of craziness for us to sit here and be like, wow. But, look, it ain't 5, 6, 12, 50, 80 crazy people like that in Congress. They had a couple thousand people show up and raid the congressional building. They have roughly 30% of white America still believes that Trump won.
Yeah.
And are willing to fight over it.
Yeah.
And people hear 30% and they think of it like in this abstract thing where like, oh, 30%. Well, that still means there's 70% who don't believe it, so that's okay. No, but that 30% is committed.
Yeah. And they're willing to do whatever it takes.
Yeah, they'll come fight you. You're not gonna find anybody to back you up. So it'll be one against all them. This country's in bad shape. It's always been in bad shape. But now, I said this before in the past, white privilege is having to contend with white supremacy, and they don't know what to do with it.
Yep, they're like, what?
They don't know what to do with it. Because white privilege is like, yo, we ain't got to be like this. You know what I'm saying? Let's get our money. Let's do our thing. Let's keep the country together and keep it pushing. White privilege is like that. White supremacy is like, yo, there's too many people of a different color showing up. They're making too much noise. They're asking for things we don't want to give them. And they're trying to impose reality on top of our fairy tales.
Exactly.
Fight 'em.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think my big dummy, if I was going to throw one out there, it's a toss-up between Desantis and Gates.
Oh, no. Both of them on my list. Gates, because why is he not in jail yet? Why is he not been charged yet?
Exactly what we just talked about.
I'm like, wait a minute. Now, come on. How many times, how many of his friends are going to have to call him out before the Department of Justice or somebody says, you know what, we got enough, at least charge him. I'm like, this child pedophile, this
He's
rapist.
An elected official.
First of all, he's got funny hair. Let's just put it.
He's got a big head.
Yeah, it is big.
Thing is huge.
And then, like, he literally is accused of taking underage women across state lines to have sex with them.
Mm-hmm.
He's on committees because of why?
Because he's an elected official, and in America, sex crimes aren't real crimes.
And that's he's more, because at least DeSantis, and I'm saying at least DeSantis, he hasn't been accused of child pedophilia. That's the only thing that kind of bumps him above Gates. They're both idiots. They're both Trump butt kissers.
But DeSantis has led to countless people dying. It's like, it's all bad. It's all bad. It's all bad.
Yep.
But who's dumber, them or the people who support them because of team politics?
Yep.
Yeah, I have a whole video series coming out about that. It's just we got to shift away from team politics. Got to.
Yep. But that I'll cut across you. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I couldn't understand what the comment was.
It was out when you said white privilege. I just didn't click on it fast enough.
Oh, okay.
I didn't click on it fast enough. But I don't know who's worse. I don't know whether it's Gates. It's got to be Gates, because at least with DeSantis, at least. Yeah, but then you got.
Yeah, I don't know that you can do it. I think you have to put them on some kind of weird continuum. Because no one's worse, because you got one that is raping children, and then you have another one who is killing grandparents and parents and leaving children orphans.
And then refuses a mask mandate, which he could clearly order because he's governor. Like, he could.
But that wouldn't help him in his national political aspirations.
Because he wants to be vice president so badly.
He wants to be president.
No. Because as long as Trump is out there, he's not going to skip over his. He doesn't have the I want to say nerve.
No, I mean, he won't go for president if Trump announces, but he makes sure that everyone knows that that's what he wants. So that if Trump does step down, because Trump has hinted a few times that he may not do it. So, yeah. Thank you. It's always the people.
Don't be agree with my sister.
Right. It's always the people.
Yep, it's the people be like, yep.
Us. It's always us. It's always me. It's always you. It's us.
Yeah, because we elect these, or the people that stay home.
Right? The people who stay home, but you know what? The people that stay home because no one's actually brought it to them in such a way to make it worth their effort to do something else. I still put the blame always goes on who did a positive action. And when I say positive action, I mean you did something, right? So it's not the people who decided not to vote that got Trump elected. It's the people who pulled the lever for Trump that got Trump elected. You see what I'm saying? It's like there are enough people who decided that's my guy for him to get elected. And when we start blaming everybody else, it really lets the evil people off the hook. It lets the bad guy off the hook. It's like when you watch those Maury Povich type shows where the dude gets busted cheating and then the women fight each other. You know what I'm saying?
You're fighting the wrong person.
You're fighting the wrong one. You need to fight the one who actually made this situation be. And that's always going to be the dude in that case, in that particular scenario. In this case, it's always the people who actually voted for whatever the problem is.
Yeah, because he actually spoke to them, and it was something. Well, it was the racism.
Yeah, it wasn't him.
It was the misogyny. They said, you know what? About time somebody said what I thought.
They would have voted for almost anybody as long as it wasn't another Obama. See, when Obama got in, people weren't mad at Obama for what he did. They got mad at Obama for who was doing it. That broke a complete thing where America was always ran by a white man. And then you put a black guy in there and he didn't mess anything up. Wow, that uppity so-and-so, so-and-so. So then when he came out, they wanted the exact opposite. And when you want the exact opposite, you go and find who was a thorn in Obama's side? Trump. Who's the opposite of Obama's intelligence? Trump. Opposite of Obama's class? Trump. You know what I'm saying? Every opposite Trump embodied. So he was literally just a vessel.
Yep. And things before I could jump to my next idiot, I think we got a special guest coming on here. No, Marlon. You didn't! Marlon's in the house!
Who's in the house? Marlon's in the house. Hey, Marlon.
I would not even have came home if y'all didn't say y'all missed me so much.
Oh, we missed you. Come on, man. I miss you. Now, Tracy, I can't.
Yeah, I heard Tracy say she don't miss me.
I didn't say I did miss you. I just said I missed you a little bit.
Miss me a little bit. All right.
So, Marlon, because you were in the comments, we're just naming our top idiots of 2021. So far, we've got Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lori Boebert, Matt Gaetz, Desantis. I got my next one coming up. Is there somebody that we're forgetting?
Cruz.
See, you just got to my next one.
Oh, Teddy Bear?
Teddy!
This idiot went online and said that Washington State was an authoritism because they're having a mandate basically shutting down again. Yeah, this idiot saw WA and assumed that was Washington State. That was Western Australia. So as soon as he figured it out, he erased the 2020 and 2021 has came up with so many stories that honestly, you just can't make this stupid stuff up.
You can't. You be like,
and it's real.
You can't even blame individuals.
It
And you
is
can't blame
realistic.
individuals anymore because there's too many of them.
Marlon, we've already talked about the Gorilla Glue girl and the guy that married his own goddaughter. But yeah, Ted Cruz is my next one. First of all,
Wait a minute. Can we go back to the Gorilla Glue? As much as everybody does, she won. I'm
no,
sorry. I can't figure out beyond a shadow of a doubt why you thought it was a great idea to do that.
she was trying to keep them edges down.
With glue.
Hey, the struggle was real. When you have them edges and you trying to keep them down, no, I'm defending this stuff. Okay,
You can't defend that type of stupidity. I'm sorry. You just can't. You can't.
Isn't it kind of similar to how people were really taking exception to me calling a 10-year-old kid dumb for putting a penny in a socket?
Because it was a 10-year-old kid. This was a grown A woman.
But both of them.
that is as a 10-year-old, you know that your parents had to bring you up better than that. Come on.
Okay, but here's the deal.
I wish somebody would ram me
So
for
she
like the child was
did
dumb.
something. So it's like, is she dumb or did she do something dumb? Is the kid dumb or did he do something dumb? I understand. People are saying, Theus, he's a kid. Don't sit there and call him dumb. He did something dumb. Cool, fine. That's semantics to me. I do understand the difference, but I'm just saying that's somebody wanting to parse your words. But that's the same thing we'd have to give to the Gorilla Glue lady. You know what I'm saying? She did something dumb. You know?
She went out of her way to do something dumb.
So did the kid. The kid asked the machine to give him a challenge and then did the challenge.
And that has always been my argument with you, Theus, is why are we not jumping onto the machine that would tell anybody to do that?
Because if you did not ask the machine, would the machine have said anything?
Nope. Because he could have said, hey, play me some jazz. He could have asked a machine to play him some jazz. And the machine would have played him some jazz. But nope, this little twit said,
I do think that the machine was as diabolical for a programmer to even let the AI think on that level. But that's part of the problem with AI. It's in every movie we've ever watched growing up. There's going to be bugs in the machine. There's going to be a programmer with a sick sense of humor, right? How many times have we heard about like the old Disney movies where they hide some little phallic symbol or something in the background or something, right? There's always going to be somebody who does something like that. It still comes back to the individual who had the boredom to say, I don't want to think for myself. Hey, machine, think for me. Oh, you gave me something. I'm still not going to think. I'm just going to do what
I'm
you said,
going to take this penny and stick it in the... You 10. You know better. You know better.
And then this time it was the AI. But before they had it, what was it? Was it back on YouTube, I think it was, where they were doing the suffocation challenge?
Yep, suffocation challenge.
There was always
we ain't got to go there because we can still talk about this year when they was doing the slap your teacher challenge.
I wish my sister had disappeared because she's a school teacher. I was like, well, how would you respond if somebody came up and slapped you?
We already losing teachers. We would have lost a whole lot more.
True.
Oh, yeah.
True.
My mother was a school teacher for 20 semi years.
We're in a crisis right now, man.
Again, I've always said this. Students, it ain't going to go the way you thought it was going to go.
Thank you, because some of these teachers going to lay some hands on you.
Period. But then the teacher ends up going to jail.
See, and the teacher ends up going to jail.
The whole thing is a mess. The whole thing's a mess. And I blame individuals. Once again, I always bring it back to us. Because as the parents, each individual parent is making individual decisions every day on what type of child they're going to raise. Yeah. What level of energy they're going to put into raising that child. Right? Every neighbor who sees a kid that they could be relatively in contact with, right? Just like, hey, Billy or whatever, as he's riding his bike down the street or whatever, you choose not to. That's a decision. Those are individual decisions. So no one is putting a structure around these children. And then we send them to the school. And then when we send them to the school, since they don't have any structure or expectations, they just wild out. And then the teachers are professionals, they have a job. So then they're not allowed to say or do anything to the kids. And then the administrators, they just want to get a promotion so that they can move further up their chain and maybe have an elected office or have tenure or whatever they're trying to go for. So they aren't on the teacher side either. So there's still no discipline.
And you got the parents to say, my child is always right, which is always annoying.
You got parents coming to the school ready to fight.
Like, what's your problem? No wonder your child act like a little fool. And I said fool, not fool.
I was thinking really hard, and I have been battling with the idea of becoming a teacher for years, at least the last 3 or 4 years. And
we do need more black male teachers. I'm just throwing that out there. We really do.
But it's not the place that I view safe for me to be. Because you see, I have a particular style. If you give me children, they're mine. Like I look at them as my children. So I'm going to protect them, guide them, love them, discipline them, all of that. And I do not lay hands. That is not my parenting style. But I need to have the authority to have authority. If I don't, the kids have the authority. And I can't function in that world. I can't function where I'm beholden to the kid. I can't function in a world where all my superiors and peers are a bunch of Karens running around who have whatever. It's just not the place. I don't know that I could function there. So I'm trying to build a school model outside of school, which is still difficult because you got the kids already having to deal with 6 to 7 hours of wasted educational time. And then I'm going to have another 1 or 2 hours after school.
Yep, that is a problem.
Kids don't want to do that.
Yep. But back to the idiot conversation. We said, well, Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz.
What woman, well, forgive me, but what woman says, you know what? No, I'm talking about his wife now. Sure, Trump called her ugly.
Heidi?
Yes. And sure, he worked.
Is her name really Heidi?
Her name is really Heidi. Heidi Cruz.
Yep.
Yes, Heidi Cruz is her name.
Yep.
Go ahead, Tracy.
He threw his wife under the bus. He threw his 2 babies under the bus. What won't this guy do? When I say garbage, if garbage were a person, it would be Ted Cruz. I'm like, do you have any, when you was throwing your wife, and I know that was way past, that was before.
People have hated Cruz since he was in college. Cruz is Cruz.
Yeah.
His roommate hates him.
I'm like, dude.
His wife doesn't even stay with him most of the time, from my understanding.
It's
He's
like
terrible.
It's. I'm just like, wait a minute. You have to be so. You can't. When you are so unlikable, other Republicans are saying you're garbage. That's it for me.
People don't deal with Ted Cruz. They tolerate Ted Cruz.
Exactly.
But why does he keep? Okay, but
because he used Ted Cruz for what he is good for, and that's politics. But as for hanging out and chilling out and going on, ain't nobody doing that with Cruz.
He threw his own babies under the bus.
And what makes you think
his children are probably jerks? But if you can sell out your wife, you can definitely sell out your kids. So
what? I wish
and sell out your country.
I wish the man who I was with and some dude called me ugly and he gonna go work for him. You getting served punched in the face.
But see,
you getting punched in the face. Period.
But this is the thing. Over. Once you get someone down to a point, they're not gonna suddenly do right. You know what I mean? Like, if what's a good example? If you take someone and first you I'm gonna use a drug game, right? So you make him a spotter. Like, he's 10 years old, he's a spotter. He just lets you know when the police or somebody suspicious in the neighborhood is coming around, and then you react. Right? Cool. Easy thing. Give him a little money for doing it. He's getting a little taste. Then you have him breaking the cars. Then you have him stick people up at the ATM. Then you have him sell drugs. Then you have him, then you go to him and you say, look, now I need you to be a hitter. When I have a problem, I want you to go deal with that person. Now, the person who was a spotter would never be the one that you could get to be a hitter. But now I've groomed you to the point, or I've broken you down to the point that you don't even think you're worth anything anymore. And I got stuff on you. So it's like that's the most generous way I can put a Cruz, where like he's already sold everything about him out. So for him, there is no further down. He's
gone.
just gonna be Cruz.
What's wrong with the people of Texas? Why do you keep sending him back?
And when did I tell you about the Texas laws? I mean, tax voting restrictions going on now. I sat there and said, y'all so concerned that, oh, it's going to get out and it's going to affect the country and everything. Texas ain't worried about the country anymore. Texas is worried about Texas. And so we can have a Democrats all day long in the White House, Senate, House, President. Texas is going to be Republican for a very long time.
And Marlon, what you just hit on is why I get so irritated with these so-called progressives, right? Because Texas is literally what we're headed towards. Okay, they've already twisted the electoral system. They've already twisted all the districts in gerrymandering. They've separated things from national, like the grid and all those different things. They do everything based on hyper-capitalism and hyper-patriotism. They do all of those things. And now we're watching other states start to mimic it.
Yep.
And the reason why I get frustrated with the progressive side of things is because I'm going to put we in this. We are so wedded to some idealism that we aren't fighting for what matters right now. Like, we want the perfect outcome, but we won't fight for what's wrong right now. And it just annoys the heck out of me because we're still being mad at Biden for whatever. You name any of your reasons for not liking Biden, and I will tell you I agree with you. But we spend all our time on that. Meanwhile, state legislators can take your vote and say, nah, I ain't gonna count that. Nah. He voted Democrat, but he meant Republican.
Republican.
He meant Republican.
We have an issue of we still sloganeering. It's 2022. We're still sloganeering. We're still trying to get that perfect kumbaya little tweet or whatever it is
that market tested thing
to have a movement.
Yeah.
In other words, you pretty much is doing what Republicans is doing. They're not going to do the dirty work. They're just going to tell you the marching orders.
Except for the Republicans will do it though.
Secretly, they give you the marching orders. Democrats want to sit there and be frustrated and irritated and aggravated. And yeah, they'll let you know that they are. But pen to paper?
Yeah.
Somehow the desk has been moved. Somehow you can't find that pen. That paper that had the bill on it has disappeared all of a sudden.
How do you reason with people who don't acknowledge that more is actually more than less? How do you work with someone like that? How do you mount an opposition to someone trying to harm you when you still equate who is trying to harm you with someone who's not coming to help you?
But that's all they can.
How do you have that? I mean, what do you do with that?
But that's what they've been doing for so many years. And the funny thing about it is when they do the once in a blue moon win, when they win once in a blue moon, they think they have achieved something. I said this before. You are in the White House right now because we wanted to get rid of the boogeyman.
Not because we wanted you.
Yeah, not because we didn't want you at all.
Not because we wanted you.
Yeah, we really didn't.
You are in there because we just wanted to get rid of the boogeyman. And you have proven to be ineffective.
But that's just it. So, first of all,
yeah,
y'all already know my politics are black. They're not blue and they're not red, okay? They're black. But who is actively like we say that, okay, we're mad at the Democrats rightfully for not doing more for voting rights,
Yeah,
not doing
that's the one to
more
get
for
me.
police accountability. All right. But get this. Let's do the voting rights one. The Democrats have failed to put us as a priority, even though it's in their own best interest,
In their own interest. Like,
to
y'all know
protect
who
our
vote.
right to vote.
Yeah,
Right?
y'all know who vote, how black people vote Democrat,
Right.
mostly.
Right.
Yep.
So we're mad about that, rightfully mad about that. And we're almost at the point, and I can hear the people crying all the time on Facebook and on YouTube. We're almost at the point where we're going to throw our hands up and say we'd rather fight what we know is a bad guy than fight with somebody that we know is weak. But here's the dumb part about this. If the Republicans weren't trying to take away your vote, would the Democrats have to defend it? The only reason the Democrats would even have to defend our right to vote is because the other side's trying to take it. So you mad that this side ain't fighting hard enough to protect your rights, that you'll let the side that's trying to take them win.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have some pushback on that. But since this is the idiots of 2021, I'm gonna have to get back on idiots of 2021.
That was my group of idiots right there. The left.
The left. Well, I'm gonna disagree.
I'm in the left, but I'm in the left.
Yeah, but I got some more coming up. So my next idiot, and I know this what you just said. I heard what you just said, but it's Nancy Pelosi.
I don't like her at all.
I'm just like, girl, what is your... First of all, she's
part of the problem.
When she said, when the whole scandal came out about the investing, like Congress people getting like stock tips and being able to invest, first thing should have came out of her mouth is, that's deplorable. I would never do that. Nope, what she saying? It's a free market. I'm like, wait a minute. Let me process.
Trading has been a problem for 40 years.
She's
been there for 40 years.
Republicans are not going to do anything for you if it messes with their money.
But she's not Republican, supposedly.
Well, wait a minute. But Democrats will do something for you as long as you don't mess with their money.
Yep.
Because she ain't doing nothing. I'm like, lady, is you out your mind?
Because it's messing with their money. It's messing with their money.
Marlon, you nailed it, bro.
You did. I mean, that's true. But I'm like, wait a minute. She said, it's like she said the quiet part out loud. I'm like, she said
because she's tired of dealing with dumb people.
And by the way, what's the point of being quiet about it?
What you gonna do about it?
What you gonna do?
Nothing. Y'all know that should be good enough illegal to know insider stuff and be like,
it should, but the only way to change it is for Congress to change it. And the only way to get Congress to change it is to send people to Congress who want to change it. But since we don't want to be disciplined for more than a year, we can't send people to Congress to change it. So it just gets worse. Yeah, but Nancy, she's on my list from Kente Cloth, which I think was 2020.
That was 2020. That was 2020. But boy, did it ease all over to 2021.
But the way she kind of stood up for AOC because it was a woman's issue, but she didn't stand up for Ilhan Omar because it was a religion issue. Yeah,
that was my other one. I'm like,
you.
Okay, so when the person is black, so you just gonna not say nothing? Oh,
it wasn't even about black.
Oh, to me it was.
It wasn't about black.
She's black and Muslim.
Yep, it was about identity. That's all that was, right there.
I'm like, you threw her under the bus a couple years ago and made her apologize for a comment that she should have never apologized for because she was telling the truth. She was absolutely 1,000% right. Mm-hmm. And now this Boebert or what?
Burton Ernie. People
I'm just gonna call her Burton Ernie because I can't never pronounce the girl's name right. You gonna just sit there? Well, it's a tragic thing. What? Are you serious? Yeah, she. Ooh.
This is why we have to separate ourselves from political parties. We have to. You have to function as an individual agent. and go for what is going to serve your interests.
You sure are right, because that's the same. Yep, and that's bringing me up to my next idiot, the future Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy.
Ugh.
Yeah, he's going to be Speaker of the House. Y'all might as well just get used to it. It's going to happen.
And you know why? Never mind.
Regardless of any name that you throw out, Tracy, it's going to boil back down to just that.
And you know why?
Go ahead. Yeah. What's the next person? Go ahead.
No, I got to tell you why he's an idiot.
It's going to take a minute, but go ahead.
No, it's not, because he is. I mean, let's listen to the things that he did. January the 6th, he calls Trump and says, hey, you need to call off these people and tell them to go home. We all know he calls them. So in public, one thing he was trying to present is this is a terrible thing that happened. This should have never happened. But all of a sudden, it was like Trump picked up the phone and reminded him who was really in charge. And I'm like, you did a whole changeover, bruh.
You wasn't supposed to know about that phone call.
He said he talked to him.
Bruh, he on the 6th, he gets up there because it's in the heat of the moment. And he's like, you could have done something better. That's why I reached out to you. You do have, responsibility for what happened, right? That's on the 6th, because that's when you're talking bad, man. Your blood's boiling. You got all that going.
Then there's 7th.
But then the boss gives you a call. They're like, oh, I heard what you said in the break room. Oh, wait, boss, I ain't mean it like that. No. I heard what you said. So you need to come down here to Mar-a-Lago, and you need to come talk to me, because we need to figure out what your problem is. Oh, okay, boss. And then ever since then, it's been.
Yep. Thank you. He turned on that real quick. I mean, he
wants the job more than he wants the responsibility.
He still needed Trump.
Yep. And now he has Goldberg, Gates, Gosar. He got all these knuckleheads in there.
Oh, what's that other one? Gosar or Goldberg?
I don't know how to say his name. I think it's Gosar.
I always just call him Goober. But I mean,
Representative King, right?
At least they kicked him out of office. I'm like, you know what? They kicked King out. King got booted out.
When?
Like 3 or 4 years ago.
So maybe I'm pretty sure I'm thinking about the one who just got done insulting the woman that was put up to be like the Fed Reserve auditor.
He's not holding office. I'll put it like that. Because King was put out because
you're talking about that King. I think so. I might be thinking about the other guy, but I'm pretty sure he's a king. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the guy who got booted for
Kennedy.
Yeah, you thinking of Kennedy. I'm like, nah, because King.
But he's in there.
Oh,
Goldberg.
I just call him Goober.
Goldberg.
So all of these guys and girls are in the House because they gerrymander. See, this is the beauty of this twisted thing. They gerrymander things for so long that now the districts only bubble up the craziest of the crazy.
Yep.
Because they're so safe that only the most strident edge voice gets to come forward. And so now they're dealing with the consequences of their own actions. You made this district so concentrated nutty that all you're going to get is nutty people. And now half of the Republican Party in the House are nutty.
Yep, and you bringing me up to the next person on my list. I know there's no love for this sucker, Mitch McConnell.
Get ready, Theus.
Mitch McConnell. He does not have a soul. He can't. Yeah. I'm like, dude, do you have a conscience? I know it's got to be somewhere in there because I'm just like, what?
When you done became powerful enough, and when you done been in that game for as long as he has, no, he doesn't.
Yeah,
and he doesn't have to be, and he doesn't have to, because there's nothing you can do about it.
And everything is math at that level. Everything's math. You know how many bodies he's got on his hands? He can't sit there and be stressed out over every little thing. He's past that. He's Darth Vader's boss. You know what I'm saying? The Sith Lord or whatever that dude's name was. That's where he's at. He's dead inside. He's that's done. Now it's all pure calculation and math.
Yeah, but I'm like, dude, you got to have some kind of, like, maybe I'm expecting too much. I'm like, you got to have something. Like some
Listen,
inside your heart that says, you know what?
That's
Tracy,
why Democrats
we
lose.
talked about this yesterday.
Because we're decent people.
Did we not talk about this yesterday? That there comes a point where people have just sold their soul. That there's nothing left. There is nothing left.
There's nothing left
but money and fame.
Whatever it is that they sold themselves for.
That's it.
That's it.
They're going to say whatever they're going to say, and they're going to do whatever they want to do because of money and fame. So please, people out there, listen to me closely. Stop saying, I can't believe they say it. There is nothing left for them to say that should shock you anymore.
Change can't to won't.
Yeah, that's true too. That is definitely true.
It's willful blindness.
Well,
you don't want the reality that's in front of you, so you refuse to accept it.
Yep.
And you help it continue.
Yep. Well, my next idiot is not political, but I'm pretty sure Thieves is going to turn it into political. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you will.
Marlon might do it.
My next idiots are the combination of Aaron Rodgers and old boy from Tampa Bay, Buccaneer.
Brady?
Not Brady.
No, you talking about
the wide receiver, Antonio Brown. Brown.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know that.
So these two knuckleheads. Well, Aaron Rodgers, who y'all better know,
Green Bay quarterback guy.
Yeah, Green Bay quarterback.
God.
Straight out lied about him being. He kept saying, "I'm immunized." He kept saying he would not say he was when the reporter asked him, "Hey."
He kept saying he was good.
Good.
And
he said, "I'm immunized." He never said vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
And so he got, of course, called out. And then Antonio Brown, this genius, decided to buy a fake COVID card to present to Tampa Bay. Like nobody was ever going to find out that was. I'm like, dude, what? But
did you see this disparity of the punishment, though?
That's what I don't like.
What country we live in?
Aaron Rodgers got COVID.
He sure did have to set out some games for it.
And got $37,000 fine, something like that.
And lost some endorsement deals.
Which he got all that back.
Which I would love to see which one it is because I just saw his commercial on.
Yeah, he ain't
TV,
hurting.
So
he ain't hurting.
Yeah,
yeah.
But Brown, and don't get it twisted. What he did was wrong. Oh, he's back playing now. Oh,
but he'll never be able to climb that ladder like he was before.
He'll be back.
Yeah, because he was the one that got into the hyperbaric chamber. Well, never mind. If he can bounce back from what he did before he was with the Buccaneers, he gonna be all right.
Understand one thing about the NFL is
Can you make me money?
Yeah, can you make?
Yeah, that's a whole.
I know you crazy and cuckoo and
you beat your wife.
That used to be the Dallas Cowboys for
you know what though, Tracy?
They used to hire everybody who got kicked out of everywhere else.
Tracy, I would disagree with that. That's the one thing for some strange reason. Well, strange for the NFL. Just flow with me on this one. That's the one thing that seems to be that's the kicker. You could use drugs and you can run from the police and all this other stuff. You beat your wife or your girlfriend. That's it. Yeah.
You might as well. You should be a cop if that's what you want to do because they don't tell on you for beating your wife if you're a cop.
Oh no, the camera is off somehow, some way.
I mean, the highest incidences of domestic abuse are in police officers. But they don't have any method of really recording it and holding it against them professionally.
Yep, because all they'll do is just go to the next county over and get a job if they get fired.
They won't even get fired. They just bury it.
You'll be like, what invested? I don't know. What's this?
We'll look into it.
As soon as you hear internal investigation,
you already know what's going to happen.
It's over.
Like, we're not going to sit here. We guilty. We wrong.
We're going to add a note to his file.
We're going to add a note to his file.
But that's
going to be closed.
Wait, dude, he had a fake card, though. He could have just went down there, got the vaccine for free, but nope.
That's everybody, Tracy. That's everybody.
He's scared of what is. You don't know what he's scared of.
He's scared of needles.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
That's why everybody's against vaccines. They're scared of needles.
And then Aaron Rodgers, I think he was worse because, like you said, he got a way less tap on the wrist. But
He
then
got $37,000, and this fool caught COVID and been hanging around in.
I'm like, dude, you lied about your status.
Worse.
You put other people in danger because you took ivermectin, which isn't. I'm like,
one of these guys is not like the other. One of these guys.
I just don't understand. I don't understand.
You understand.
I do understand, but it don't.
You just don't like it.
I don't like it. It's ridiculous.
You understand.
This is one of the reasons why, when it's time for me to retire, make sure my passport is active and ready.
Get up out of here.
Got that right.
I've been looking at England.
I don't want to go there too expensive.
That's USA light.
I'm like, send me. I'm gonna go to like some third world country, and where my money will last a lot longer. And if I'm suffering old age, let me suffer with good weather. So
I still like snow, so I guess it's here in Canada.
I think I'll go to Japan.
Yeah.
Japan.
We're just hoping the ocean doesn't eat up all the best places.
Yeah, because I'm like, that's true.
Because my next thing was Australia, but
I ain't going to Australia. Everything on the island, on that continent want to kill you. I ain't going.
Oh, come
I ain't
on.
going.
Come on. Australia is a great country.
It's beautiful in the pictures. Too many things trying to kill you. I'm all right. Good. I'm not leaving America where all I got to worry about is crazy white people trying to kill me and crazy black people trying to kill me. I'm not this is the jungle I know. I ain't going to Australia where they got bugs that be like, if you ain't got the right net up, hey, buddy.
That's Florida.
Thank you. Parts of Mississippi like that. You be hitting bugs all day.
Australia, not doing it.
But you have no problem. But you have no problem living in a state where an alligator can just walk up to
Georgia
in your yard and stare at you.
That's Florida. I ain't need to be there either, except for Tampa. Tampa's a really nice area. But anyway, I wouldn't want to retire to Florida or
I wouldn't mind Miami though. I really would not.
Miami is sinking underwater, so why am I gonna move there? I'm still in America. I'll
be dead before that happens.
You see, I'm old now, so Miami ain't got the same appeal to me.
Yeah,
I don't want to go.
No, if I'm going anywhere, it's Cuba. It's got to be Cuba. That's the only country I think of. I'm like, yeah, it's like near America. So if I need to come back, I don't got to go.
Honestly,
long way.
I would go to Cuba now.
Yep, I sure would. But
I wouldn't went to Cuba 5 years ago.
I don't know. I would have went then too.
I would have went then too. I'd be like,
but for me, it's like Cuba, Barbados, Guyana. What's the
as long as it snows in the winter, I'm cool because I got to have snow.
Don't snow in Cuba?
I know. That's why I said I'm pretty much either going to be here or Canada. Canada would be my only other choice.
Yeah, I don't want to go nowhere where it snows.
I want to be in the snow.
I'm done with that.
I've snowed enough walkways. I don't ever want to.
I'm done with snow.
Well, it hasn't snowed this year thanks to global warming. But hey, that's a conversation for a whole nother.
It's January 1st and it's 70 degrees where I'm at.
Yeah, so... you see me over here sweating. I got the window up.
Come on. That's okay.
Oh, here's the funny thing about it. It's 70 degrees today. It'll be 70 degrees tomorrow. Come Monday, it's 58.
Yeah, where it's supposed to be. That's where it's supposed to be.
No, it's supposed to be like 35, maybe 40.
No, that's up there where you at. That's
no, we're south.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I'm like,
North Carolina is that's where they get some snow, but it's still the South.
Yeah, and y'all sit there.
North Carolina, I think y'all get all four seasons. Down here we get like a good 3 and a possible.
Yeah, y'all cancel school because there's an inch of snow outside. I'm like, really?
No, it's not because of the snow. It's because of the ice.
It's the ice. It's
the ice.
Yeah, I still can't drive. I can drive in ice all day. All day I can drive.
Come down here and drive in this.
One place that's never going to be closed because of snow, regardless, is uptown, Charlotte, the banking capital. We ain't closing.
Make sure your roads are clear.
That's the first thing that they clean. The first streets they clean. I've said this for so many times. do not mess with the money. They ain't closing jack. That pandemic pissed a lot of people off.
In the business world, because it was like, what? No, they can work at home. What?
And so, but funny thing, you should say that. It made a lot of people mad when they had to close down because it was costing people money. I get it. Funny how we made it work from home, though, didn't it?
Yeah, I know.
As soon as we learned the way to work from home,
that you can't work from home.
Yeah, you can't work at home.
We couldn't work from home this whole time when everything was fun and hunky dory. No, you got to come to the office. We got to keep the offices open. No, we already paid for the offices. What? We closed down? Pack it up. Make sure your internet's paid for. Never mind. We'll pay for your internet. We'll pay for it.
Hey, here's the money.
That's because people don't like change. And to me, that's what it all comes down to. People don't like change. Anytime change starts to come, there's always a vicious opposition.
Now you both have heard what the governor of New York is trying to do. In terms of
the mayor?
No, the governor of New York.
Who's the governor?
What's her name?
She is governor.
Yeah, the lady is governor.
Yeah, I can't call her name right now, but apparently she's been getting political contributions from the real estate industry, who is really losing because of this pandemic. And so now all of a sudden her tone has changed. She was like a 14-day, you get COVID, you stay at home for 14 days. Now all of a sudden...
That's a CDC.
Yeah, 5? Really?
That's CDC that said that.
The CDC that went from 10 to 5.
But you know what? I'm going to say this, man, and probably nobody really agree with me here, but I don't blame them. Like, we've been in this pandemic for 2 years.
Going on 3.
Right? And one thing that we know is no one wants to most people don't want to listen to anything you say.
Nope.
So if you have if you have most of the answers and you're committed to trying to save people, and every time you bring them information to help save them, they call you a liar, they give you death threats, they do everything against you, and then go out there, you say, don't eat the lead chip paint. Don't do it. And then they go out and they look you in the face and start scraping the paint and eating it in your face. How long before you just be like, yo, you know what?
Eat it. Put it in the bag.
Knock yourself out.
Go ahead. You just got to my next idiots. Plural. Anti-vaxxers.
I have no problem with you as long as you stay out of my business.
Yeah,
You don't want to get the vaccine. No, whatever I say, hear me out. You don't want to get the vaccine. That's you. But at least when you go outside, put a mask on. You don't want to do either.
Don't care about that anymore either.
If you're around me, you better have a mask on. I don't care if you vaccinated.
I got my mask on.
I wear a mask now.
I wear a mask everywhere I go.
I'm crazy. But
if you actually think I'm going to depend on other people in this country to protect me, I can't even protect. But cops with the badge are supposed to be serve and protect.
But Marlon,
they lost that claim a long time ago.
But
so
Marlon,
you normal citizens is going to protect me? Nah, I gave that up a long time ago. Protect me.
Northeast has a chronic illness.
I get what you're saying, Tracy.
I have to depend on other people to be healthy because
I do too.
I'm vaccinated. I got my booster, and if I get COVID, I can still be going out here.
You would like for other people to take that into consideration,
and they don't. They're like, oh well.
They could care. It ain't my fault.
Even though they're dropping dead.
And you would think with the amount of people, and that's another reason I put them on my list. You would think with the amount of deaths due to vaccination, some Republican politician would be like, gee, we're losing voters.
It's too late.
They don't even think that.
Trump went on air and publicly said, your freedoms is important. I get that. But I really think it's important for you to get the vaccine and take the booster. He got booed.
And immediately they called him a liar.
No, not in the conference. He said
him a liar.
In the interview he said it.
Yeah, with Candace.
With Candace Owens, yeah.
Candace Owens, he said that. You need to get the vaccine.
She called him old.
They flipped like a rock.
He can't read.
He can't.
Yeah, she
read.
said he. I'm like, look, now
Right.
I don't like Trump, but
he doesn't. He's not very tech savvy. Like
he doesn't know how to go.
He don't know. So he don't.
He doesn't know how to find the obscure pages. She said
wait,
to find the obscure pages.
The funny thing about it is, he's not tech savvy. This fool lived on Twitter for 4 years straight.
Yeah.
He's
and she
savvy.
said he wasn't tech savvy. I'm like,
But this is don't tell me that someone isn't tech savvy and then say that your level of savviness is somehow reflected in the fact that you go looking for the obscure pages. Like at the bottom of your Google page, when you do search results, you
go to the 5th page.
Yeah, you don't even go to because it has G-O-O, like it spells a whole word out.
You go past the E.
You click the dots past that.
Yeah, you're going way past the E. You're going way past. You're going 17 or 18 pages deep.
When you see those pages at the bottom of it, and the first page come up with the most popular, because this 9 out of 10 is the most accurate, and you decide,
no, I'm going 25 pages then.
Go 9. Let's see what
no,
9
Marlon. They don't do 9. They go 25. They go way deep down in there. They go so deep. You like, huh?
They go so deep that it starts changing languages.
These idiots are so dumb that, and rip.
But that's my point, though, Tracy. Yeah. But these are the people that you depended on for your safety.
Yes, I have no choice.
We could call
I have no choice.
Protect yourself.
See, here's where
protect yourself, Tracy, because they're not.
I can protect myself, but I'm saying even if I wore a mask, even if I'm vaccinated, the 45 million people who are like me that have diabetes, if we get COVID, it could possibly take us out. Yeah. Or it's going to take us way longer to get over it, and we're going to have way more side effects. Mm-hmm. And it's like they don't even, not even just diabetes, cancer, HIV, being over, it's just like they don't care.
Tracy,
it ain't like they don't.
They don't care.
They don't.
It's not real unless it touches them. But think about what you're saying.
No. That's not true at all.
Oh, yeah, some of them don't care even when it does.
Some of them will lie about it. Yes. Well, our death toll should be way higher than what it is, the count per se. We'll never know what the real number is, because now we got these idiots going to the morgue telling the people, I need you to change the cause of death on the death certificate.
Well, I mean, I take it even another way. Like when Tracy was talking about diabetes. In America, diabetes is so common that no one cares. Like
until they get it.
Even when they get it, they don't care. I mean, it's like, I just have to get medication and I can survive it. That's the way Americans are groomed to function. So we're talking about a group of people who are comparing cancer to COVID. These are the people you're talking about. We're talking about people who are saying, well, 1-point-something million people die each year from cancer. We don't shut the country down for cancer.
And the cancer is not contagious.
Exactly.
It's not contagious.
Diabetes is not contagious. These things are not contagious.
But if you have them and you get COVID,
from a respiratory virus.
We're at the point right now where we're living in a society where they know the truth and they understand the truth, but they are so far down the rabbit hole they refuse to look bad. They're not going to go back and tell anybody, you know what, you was right this whole time. No, they're just going to either they're going to shut up.
They're going to double down or shut up.
But they're not going to admit it. How many right-wing podcasters have we lost? Because like I said, at one time it was like once a week. One of them was dying. Why? Because I'm making money off this.
How many funerals have right-wing pastors had to officiate? How many hospitals have right-wing pastors had to go visit their person in the hospital? See what I'm saying? We're not dealing with
reality.
Yeah, it's like, it's not that the people are dumb. It's just that they're committed to an ideology. And
they really committed, because I'm like, this don't
back. No, it's like if you tell a lie
You got to tell a lie to
You got
cover
to tell
the lie.
another lie to make it work, to make it last. Then you got to tell another lie. Then you got to tell another lie. You're like 5 lies in.
And you could have just told the truth, and it'd have been a whole lot simpler.
You could have told the truth, but now I would have to admit that I've been lying to you the whole time.
Yep.
And still tell the truth. Who does that?
Nobody that I know.
So
you are right. That is true.
There's no coming back. That's like Ted Cruz, who we talked about a while ago on the idiot list. There's no coming back.
No,
all he can do is double down. That's all he can do.
And that's the other thing. And that's what I guess I'm still like, I understand it. But I'm like, at least wear a mask. That thing on your face is not going.
It's like team politics. This is team politics.
It's
not about anything else.
If you sat there this whole time and told everybody that COVID ain't that bad and COVID ain't real or whatever,
I'd be making
why would you put a mask on?
And then you show up with a mask.
You show up with a mask.
But you know, Tucker Carlson and Greta Richardson and all of them, you know they got vaccinated.
They're all vaccinated.
They're all vaccinated.
You saw the interview with Desantis. Where he was sitting there and the lady was like, "Well, have you been vaccinated? Have you been boosted?" And he's like, "Well, I had one shot." Because he can't admit that he got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine the first time, which we all knew about, and then he turned around and got another shot because he needed to make sure he was boosted. And then he got the booster on top of that.
And then he made sure that his rich friends got it first. Before the poorer populations, but hey, it's whatever.
It's the marching orders. I want you to go do what I tell you to do. I'm not going to do it.
No.
Because I got common sense. And but I need you to go rip masks off people's faces. I need you to go.
Not real people anyway.
To go.
That's another thing.
Centers and
they're just going extreme with it. And that's the thing about the right, who are also on my list, that annoys me. Okay, you don't want to be told to wear a mask. You don't want to be told to get vaccinated. But now all of a sudden, when a parent has their child with a mask, you're going to rip some off my child. Oh, we can ready to fight. We can ready to fight right then and right there.
Oh, no, I mean, that's the day that daddy goes to jail. Because I'm coming in and I'm laying hands on every adult in the vicinity. But it shouldn't have to come to that.
You taking off mask off of somebody. It's like, okay, you don't tell me what to do, but I'm going to tell you what to do.
That's what I said. I don't care anymore about what they do. You don't want to get the shot, fine. Knock yourself out. You don't want to wear a mask again, fine. Knock yourself out. But what you're not going to do is then try to tell me what to do. You live your life, and I'm going to live mine. But as soon as your life try to go into my life, it's not going to end the way you think it's going to. All that stuff that you see on TV is a far and a few. Why? That's why they visualize. That's why they fantasize about stuff like that. It's like looking at a plane crash. It is devastating. It is destructive. I get that, but it's few and far in between.
Yeah,
why?
I mean,
it ain't that many stupid people out there.
Yeah, like Marlon really said, you just gotta let people be what they're gonna be because here's the thing. Because like Tracy, I take your point, right?
Yeah.
Because like we all are tied together and we all affect each other. But that's a particular worldview that's not shared by the people that you are trying to deal with. And so you would actually have to change their worldview to even begin to have the discussion. Now, how do you do that? I don't think you can. So if you can't, then why work yourself up about it? You just got to try to wall yourself off, do the things you need to do, move in the circles that you know kind of believe in.
Don't go outside. Don't do anything.
You can go outside. Just go around other people who got masks on. When you show up and you walk up in the grocery store and like everybody got a mask on, but 4 or 5 people don't, cool, do your thing. You walk in and you one of the only ones with a mask on.
Walk back out. Walk right back out.
We're going to deal with this for
ever.
No, I would literally say, and I'm going to say this right here, right now on Tracy's show, so y'all can go back and look at it. I think we got another 2 years with this crap. And I guarantee you, after the 2 years, and it's no more, it's not that big of a danger anymore, Watch how they come back and go. See, I told you it wasn't that.
Yeah,
bad.
wasn't
It
that big of a deal in
It
the
was
first
only
place.
4 years.
And
it was
only
850,000
people.
Oh, it's the end of the world. It's the end of the world. It only lasted 4 years. While we've had cancer since 19.
Yeah. We'll have a new normal. The masks will go away. We'll know how to deal with this. It flares up twice a year. The flu flares up once a year. This will flare up twice a year, and we'll just deal with it. I mean, that's literally where I think we're going to go, because we're way past the point of solving it. Like, solving it was the first year.
Yep.
All right. Solving it was, we have a little fire. Let's figure out where the fire is. I can see the smoke in the horizon. So there's a fire. Let's go get it. That's year 1. By the time year 2 hit, it was a full-on forest fire.
Yep.
You don't contain that without massive effort and massive buy-in. America's not capable.
And we won't even share the vaccines that we have with other poor countries.
Exactly. We're not capable.
We
are not capable of rising.
Just let them go to waste. Y'all know we're not taking them. Just give them to them other countries.
Meanwhile, we do business all around the world. People are moving in and out constantly.
Give it to the other country and see how this goes.
I'd say that's the way to make people get vaccinated.
I thought you was trying to protect us. Now you're giving it to other countries.
I'm going to disagree with you, Marlon.
That's what I said is the solution.
That's the solution.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just telling you what they're going to say.
They're going to say something
I thought you was trying to protect us. Now you
didn't want to take it?
Vaccine. I would have took the vaccine, but now
I want them to get to that point. I want them to get mad that they can't have it. See, that's the problem I feel that America has. In the beginning, I think they played it more or less right from the standpoint of saying, make it free, make it available. This is why it's important, right? I understand that. And that was the
for reasonable people, that would make sense.
It was the most right thing to do. But then once you get to like the vaccine's been out for almost a year or maybe 9 or 10 months at that point, once you reach that point and you're still begging the same group of people to do something,
I'm done.
You switch and you be like, you know what? You can only get the vaccine if you're under this age. If you're over this age, you have to pay for the vaccine.
And then make it so much
American. Money. I just want to ship it to Africa.
Yeah, do it worse. Make it Mexico. Make it Mexico. And be like,
oh, what? They're not going to be that mad about Mexico. Ship it to Africa.
Yeah, they will.
And I'm going to watch the South burn. It's going to be the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in my life.
Speaking of the South burning, you hear about the new secession movement. Oh, but before we get it, I'm sorry. My dummy, just so I can throw it out there because we were talking about dummies, the judge in the Rittenhouse trial.
Oh, you just got to my next one. Dude. Not only was he dumb, he's inherently racist. And I'm sick of the right. Well, Bill Clinton appointed him. Shut up. Bill Clinton signed the crime bill. Will you sit down?
Not only that, but Bill Clinton did that 40 years ago. So this guy is 40 years past mental capacity, 40 years on.
Kyle Rittenhouse got to pick his own jurors. He was like, yeah, it had one. And I'm like, wait a minute. Not the attorneys. Him.
Yeah. That's like, so he's on my list.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, and you know. And then Roddy Bryant. He's on my list.
Wait a minute, Roddy Bryant. Now that
he was one of the 3 men that lynched Ahmaud Arbery. He's the video man.
He's the one that taped
the video man.
Why he's an idiot?
He's an
idiot. He's an idiot and a murderer.
Like, I'm glad that he's an idiot. That's what I love about most criminals. Like most criminals, the best thing about them is that they don't pay attention to detail, and eventually they do something stupid, and that's how they get caught. Right? It's not the first time you do something you get caught. Usually, it's when you do it over and over again and get sloppy. But in his case, you went and showed the video to friends and all this.
Because he never did, though. He thought it was okay to show it to his racist friends.
He showed it to the police. He showed it to the police.
No, the idiot is the former prosecutor who said, now don't go arrest them. Don't do anything.
That wasn't an idiot. That was evil.
That was evil.
He's an idiot.
But since we're on the subject of defense attorneys, Mr. I don't want no more black pastors.
Oh, I forgot about that guy. Oh
And
my
guess whose
gosh.
attorney that was?
That was it. That was the Harris. I'm just adding up to the idiot list.
I forgot about that. I don't. Man, you that scared of some
my
black
God.
preachers? You really
But
that
yo,
scared of black preachers?
Dude, you should have just came on in with your little white hat.
And see, this is
White
what
pointed
makes
hat.
this is what annoys me so much about our community and how we absorb the media is the point got missed, I think. That trial was held locally, right? Down in Brunswick. All of the attorneys on the defense counsel were
They're from
local
Atlanta.
attorneys. No, the defense counsel. They were
Oh,
local,
the defense.
They were local attorneys. Now, what did we get out of those? You had one, the guy who was, I think, very competent and knew what he was doing. You had the other guy who, no black pastors, right? And then you had the lady talking about his toenails and
Yeah,
all
they
that
were
stuff.
dirty. He was dirty. He
So-
should have been where he wasn't welcome.
So just think about the personality of that community. When 2 out of 3 of the most prominent attorneys in the area are like that, okay? That to me should have like bright lights for black people to realize what it's like in the rest of America outside of our little bubbles in major metropolitan cities. But I don't think we saw it.
It did. But
I think it did.
But one pushback on that is the jury is actually have shown that we're just not putting up with this BS anymore.
That's not what I got from the jury.
Yeah, that's not what I got from the jury either.
They
made that decision because they had to, not because they wanted to.
I think they made that decision because you literally watched a man get chased down and lynched. It's kind of hard.
You watched it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. And then they're also they're worried about riots and stuff in their own town.
And I do get that, but we still got to keep in mind this ain't the first time we done had video of a white person killing a black person.
But this is the first time we watched a lynching. In current time, it's the first time you had a lynching this cut and dry. You remember how hard it was to get Floyd? You remember how hard it was to get Chauvin for killing Floyd?
You got to remember Rodney King.
Video of Rodney King getting hit with a
That's completely
brick.
Different. Completely different.
How was that different?
How's that different?
How was that different?
Because it was police officers beating Rodney King. Now, the black man who beat Reginald Denny following the beating of Rodney King, his ass just got out.
You mean his what? His what?
I'm sorry.
I'm like his what?
The thing that Jesus
making
wrote.
me be the mother.
His booty. His booty just got out.
But I'm just saying, like, the Rodney King thing, it sparked riots similar to the murder of George Floyd sparked riots. You know what I mean? Like, that part is equated, but the fact that they were white police officers beating the brakes off of Rodney King made it different because they were police. In this case, these were regular evil people in the neighborhood.
They weren't regular.
Who put a posse together and went and lynched a man.
The only deal is, though, it took several months to put them people in.
Sure did, because she didn't even want to go to trial.
It never would have happened.
She didn't even want to go to trial. She was like, "Oh, don't say anything. Don't do anything." That video
that you're talking about was shown to cops.
No, I mean, but it had to leak. It had to leak for it
to the radio station.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
The police already had it. It wasn't until the big city, Atlanta, sent the GBI down there that all of a sudden they were able to get that video. They were able to get ring camera video. They were able to get witness testimony. It took Atlanta coming down there to get any of that.
But what I'm saying,
that's the reality of America.
What I'm saying is you're saying they was pressured into doing it. I'm saying it was a time when they wouldn't do it at all.
No, I agree, but I don't count that.
Yeah, we agree with this.
I agree with you there, but I'm just saying that the 11 jurors coming to that
12.
verdict. I'm sorry, it was 11 white, 1 black. I apologize. The 12 jurors,
and that did scare me,
coming to that verdict. The fact that in the year of 2021, we still had to look at it and say, even though we have a lynching on tape, even though we got all the evidence you could possibly
I
need,
know what you're saying. We still had to
we
hold our
still
breath.
were scared
We still
that
had to hold
because
our
there
breath.
were 11 white people on the jury.
Yeah.
That right there speaks volumes.
Yeah, but you guys are gotten to my next idiot.
They see us now. They see us now.
Well, I was like, if these girls go straight off that
Ooh,
woman.
she made me so mad. She made me so mad. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm flashing back to when I went on my rant. Oh goodness, she made me mad. Oh.
I was like, this, it's okay. She just that was her opinion. Let her have it.
No.
They
You was like, no.
They see us now. They see us now. No, they don't.
Like, no, they really
No,
don't.
they look right past you, baby.
No, they don't. No.
But I could understand where she was coming from. I really could.
Yeah, because it's inappropriate, but it's still
No, it wasn't inappropriate. It was emotional.
It was
inappropriate.
And once the emotion died down, reality strikes in.
Still inappropriate.
Yeah, but
they see us now.
we're gonna
You
move
quoting
on.
movie titles now, right? You know what I'm saying? Well, with this Essential Part 5, that's what we're doing now? Come on, man.
We're gonna move on to our
Go ahead,
next
Tracy.
idiot. Speaking of trials, this police woman crying like she was Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah, them tears ain't work for her.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Man.
hey, lady, you realize you're a female, right?
well, here's
actually works
it
in her
wasn't
favor.
that. It was the deal that I'm sorry, I was still laughing at these tears.
She had lower charges. That's why
She had lower charges, and the prosecution. See, here's the difference between.
But she went like this
because she knew she was there. Look, here's the difference. Why I said there is a change, but there isn't a change. The one thing that has changed is that the prosecutor went for manslaughter. Back in the day, they would have went for first degree, second degree murder. They knew they wasn't gonna get it. They knew they wasn't gonna win.
They were overcharged.
But at the very least, they could say, "Well, we tried. Well, we tried, and it just didn't go our way," knowing that they wasn't gonna get it. That's the change that I do see. Here's the change that didn't happen. You know, trainers right now is changing the rule books, changing the policy of cops out there, if you do something wrong, don't react while the camera is still on. That was one of her downfalls, is that she was crying, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do? Oh my God.
Then she said she was going to jail. She had that right.
They had another video of her from prior, like another situation where she was telling officers to turn off their camera.
Yeah.
So
the policy. So right now, that's what hasn't changed. They're not going to change the policy from, hey, we're trying to do something to make sure that you don't get shot. We're changing the policy to, hey, we're trying to make sure that you don't get caught.
But Marla, she's on my list not only because she killed an innocent man for some ridiculous, stupid reason. You mean to tell me you can't tell the difference between a taser and a gun?
No, that's just her cover story.
No, that's the cover.
That's just, she could have came up with something else.
No, she couldn't. She ain't had nothing else.
Here's the funny.
Wait a minute. They weigh different. They look different.
But you could be like, but I'm a poor lady and I made a mistake. That's what she was playing for.
Here's the funny thing about it is, and it never came up in trial, and I wish it did. Whatever weapon that she pulled out, the warning was over with. Because she pulled out, let's go with her little cockamamie story that she pulled out the wrong one. The point of the matter is she pulled and shot. So if it was a taser, there was no more warning. She's pointing and she's shooting. That was her legit pull and pull the trigger. It just so happened that it was the gun. But the content of her character, of what she's going to do, has already been written. Once whatever it is that she had pulled out of her holster was going to get discharged.
Yeah, she had already committed to the action.
Yeah, she had already committed. In her head, she was already like, I'm shooting. But she came up with
I'm shooting. Whatever I pull out, it's getting shot. It's getting discharged.
And she actually sunk herself too. Because
she smiled on her mugshot?
No, not that. But when she was like, somebody else pulled him over. If it had been me, I wouldn't even have pulled him over. Oh, So as a senior officer, you already think that this was a stop that didn't have to
It
happen.
happened. Yeah,
And you're saying that in your own defense that you wouldn't even have created the interaction. And yet, given that, you weren't more careful about what was happening at the scene from that point. You were actually less careful. She did it to herself. The police union was probably like, come on, man.
I can't even protect you from this one, bro.
Well, the officer that was with her totally contradicted her testimony. So I'm like, yep, you going to jail.
Yeah, because the word had come down. We can't fix this.
There's nothing
let
we
this
can do
let
about
this one
this.
go. Let this one
Yep.
go.
Now I'm moving on to my next idiots because, well, this one, I better not get no argument for the next one. He's the senator from South Carolina.
Lindsay?
Both of them, Lindsay and Mr. Scott.
Why in the
Timmy?
Why the living heck would I argue with you
about
Lindsey Graham, the person who created radical truth to power?
So actually, we should be saying.
Why would I? Of all,
because some people defend.
I'm gonna pull a Theus. Why would you think I'm gonna argue with you?
People defend him. People literally try to defend him.
That idiot went on TV, did a video, him holding an AK-47 and shooting at blank targets, talking about, I wish somebody would break in my house. Fool, don't nobody want to break in your house.
They might not be able to get out.
You are once again, just like everybody else, playing a little fantasy G.I. Joe. You are
But that's all he wants to do. That's all they have to do. That's why they got Christmas cards with guns on them saying praise Jesus. I mean, it's not about what makes sense. It's about how do I stoke your emotions.
I wish somebody would try to defend that troll.
He's another one that sold out.
Timmy.
Little Timmy is one of the. Little Timmy is the sold your soul person. So
we need a black person to. We need a black person to go up there and sabotage police reform. What black person we got? We only have 2, boss. Oh, okay. Well, send the other one. Timmy!
Well, the good news is the policy worked because we ain't got but 2 black people. The bad news is
we got 3.
But like Timmy's the only black senator.
No, we got 3 black senators. On the Republican side. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's the only one.
On the Republican, yeah.
And they needed a token. And that's his job. And he knows that's his job. His job is to protect Lindsey Graham, supports Mitch McConnell, and run interference for black people. Tracy, that's his job.
You're missing 2 people, and I'm trying to remember this second person.
Oh no,
Warnock
and Cory Booker.
No. The worst people this year.
Oh no, we still got some.
We got more. You got
Derek we got more. We got way more.
No, that is not Derek Chauvin. I mean, we could talk about it, but it's not Derek. I can't. What is his name?
What did he do?
What's his background?
He got hit with an egg.
You talking about Larry Elder?
Thank you.
Yes, because Larry Elder, Marlon, you got to my neck.
He was auditioning for the next token.
Black conservatives are also on my idiot list because they showed they whole behind this year. They literally showed they whole
behind.
Yes, I understand. I was busy thinking about the biblical background of the noble beast of burden.
They showed
in the middle of your rant. In the middle of your rant, you're thinking of Bible.
It's a beast of burden. It's a noble beast.
It's a donkey.
You sitting way too close to Tracy to lie like that.
Yes, black conservatives show they hold behinds, from Candace Owens to those 2 twins to the black conservative guy that's on Twitter. He's called the Black Conservative.
To Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker's in a category by himself. I'm saving him because Herschel's in his own. I got a rant about Herschel, and you know what? I'm not gonna go with it right now. This second,
a black man with no facial hair. You need to be real cautious around them. You just got to. You gotta be careful. I'm not saying they're wrong.
No,
I'm not saying they all wrong. I'm saying you need to slow down.
Put 2 sentences together.
Oh, did you hear the Tim Black video
No, I'm
where
talking
he
about
did
Herschel Walker.
I know, but
Yeah.
did you see the video where
Did you hear the Tim
he
Black
had all
video?
of Herschel Walker's
He wasn't even
interviews.
talking. He was just
Oh, it was
like playing
terrible.
clips. I was like, okay, I got
Oh,
to
it was
stop
terrible.
laughing at
Wait a
this.
minute, who is this?
Tim Black did a
He did
video,
a-
a compilation of all of Herschel Walker's clips.
Recent things, yeah.
Oh, child!
It was terrible. It was terrible.
Oh.
And it's like I don't want to draw the comparison to slavery because they didn't have a choice. But this man literally sounds like he went to school with him.
Oh, but
It's
then
bad.
he ain't even that smart.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah, I got a rant on Herschel. I'm putting him by himself. I'm talking about the Larry Elders, the Candace Owenses,
The Vernon
those
Jones.
212s, the Vernon Jones. Yes, I'm putting all them in the same. Herschel is going
What
to be by
about
himself.
777
14 most embarrassing moments. Yeah, I'm watching.
Who about the guy Herman Cain?
Herman
He
Cain
died
passed
21?
this year. Yeah, he
Was it
passed in
21 he
2021. Yep, he had COVID and went to a Trump rally.
Trump was still in office.
No, that was
So it
2020.
was 2020 then. So
Yeah, he passed in 2020, so he's not 2021. But you don't want to be. I want to be respectful to those that are no longer with us.
I mean, hey, he gone.
I don't care.
I mean, you choose how you live. Ain't my problem when you check out.
If I ain't have respect for you when you was alive, you ain't get no respect because
You ain't getting it once you're gone.
You earned your disrespect. It takes a lot for me to don't like you.
That'd be like me trying to say I can't say nothing bad about Rush Limbaugh.
Well, yeah, I can say some bad stuff.
I can say a lot of stuff about him. You know. So,
boy, you notice he got real quiet too. Like he died and I ain't hear jack.
Yeah, because he died. He died, and they moved on.
Yeah, they moved on to the next idiot.
That was the shocker of me. Because you can say as much as you want to. Without Rush, there would not have been Tucker Carlson.
He did his job. He
was just a setup man. He was just setup man.
He was done. Like, he was just around because you didn't want to take the keys from Grandpa. Okay. Tucker and Alex Jones and all them weird people and that weird pastor out in Kentucky who does the tent thing.
Is he still in the tent?
Yeah, that's what he does because it's a flashback to the Pentecostal revivals or the what do you call them?
And they lie so
the
much.
Traditionalists,
oh my god,
originalists, I think is what they call them.
They lie so much. If you don't, and if you come in here and say something about the mask, then you can get out. Fool, you know doggone well ain't nobody that came to your show is going to say something. That was the point.
Thank you for calling this show.
Oh yeah, I purposely meant.
Hey, you guys,
it was entertainment.
Nice. That's not nice.
It's entertainment.
I don't have to be nice.
That's not nice.
It's the Muppet Show in a tent.
Don't insult the Muppets like that. They were way better.
And it's always interesting when you think about when you show up at a church and you just know that you should feel so safe because everybody got a gun.
So, do people be having guns in church? I don't care what race they are.
Well, we have guns in church because somebody came up there and shot our elders. Okay.
Yeah, we got
so
somebody decided to steal from the church.
They done blown up a church and killed 3 of our children. They done shot up a church. They done shot up many churches. They done set churches on fire. They done vandalized churches, and then they went in there and shot our elders up after having service with them.
But see,
we a little on nerve, but we still don't want to carry.
That's my point about these churches is, for the love of everything, stop playing the victim card. If you have a problem with wearing a mask, you can get out. If we always being attacked,
they want to be oppressed so bad.
Nobody goes to your church to cause chaos.
They want to be oppressed so bad.
Well, Marlon, see, you say what you're doing is you're making a lot of sense. The people you talking about don't got none. I'm like,
you're right.
Because they're the same people we were talking about before with vaccinations, masks, science, history, you name it. Their job is keep things the way they were.
Yep.
That's why they're called conservatives, and they're all regressive. They want to conserve their power. They don't want to change anything.
You're still missing one person, Tracy.
No, I haven't, because I said Herschel was his own category, so I'm gonna move on to once you think, who am I missing?
Little Tuck.
Tucker Carlson, you just that was my next one.
Little Tuck.
What about Hannity? What about Hannity?
Hannity, I don't pay attention to because I look at his face.
Honestly, this year
he kind of turned it down a little bit.
Second.
Yeah, Hannity was a close.
Tuck lost his cop picking mind.
He was going after Trump. I was
Hannity
like,
used to be the number one, and Tucker used to be number two, and then they've changed.
They flipped
slots.
Yeah,
but they're still both just as crazy and rabid.
Oh no, but I got one crazier than him, Alex Jones.
Yeah, but everybody know he crazy.
Yeah, that's
that. They all know he's crazy.
If Idiot of the Year was a person, it would be Alex Jones.
That fool wouldn't got a default judgment because he didn't. He didn't want to
Alex
participate.
Jones is the typical American right now. The people who talk a very big game.
Sandy Hook was staged.
Until you get hit in the mouth.
Yeah, bullies,
and all of a sudden now you want to run and hide and beg for money and everything else.
Yep, and that's going to bring me to my next idiot, Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, I think, is just manipulating the situation.
Yeah, Joe Rogan found out where the real money
First of all, you're not a funny comedian.
He's just not trying to be.
No, I'm just going. This is my second rant.
Oh, yeah.
He's not funny. Your podcast is boring as end all. I'm like, why do people even watch this garbage? I've heard of right-wing conspiracy theorists. And I've heard them say some crazy things, i.e., well, Betty White, she died because she was vaccinated. Shut up. But that sucker right there.
I love me some Betty, but she died because the batteries ran out. I mean, let's just be real.
But they say she got the COVID vaccine, which she probably should have. She's above 90, or was. Rest in peace. But I mean, this is what Alex Jones does, and people listen to him and Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson. I'm like, people have some
wars and all them things, yeah.
If I said because she got the vaccine, it has nothing to do with she was 99.
Nothing to do with that. She'd still be alive for another 50 years.
Oh Lord, bless their heart.
But see, that's just it. We got to stop giving these people no for 2022, man. It's like we just got to stop.
I'm just gonna.
But then sometimes they say stuff and you gotta call it out. Be like, y'all, don't listen to them.
I ain't calling that. I'm doing.
I am because I feel like if you ignore it, if you ignore it, it's gonna keep going.
Yeah, some people you try to break through to, and some people you just have to fight. Yeah, and we have to be willing to decide. This is someone I have to fight. This is an ideology I have to fight. I don't need to find any common ground with it. I don't need to try to convert it to my side. I don't need to beat it into submission and then try to nurse it back to health. I need to fight it, period. And then this group over here, that's the ones I can try to convince. I can try to talk to. I can try to work with. But you don't negotiate with the rattlesnake.
You really don't. You run. Because I'm scared of snakes.
You kill it or you get out its way. That's it.
I'm still in a category of I just don't care.
Well,
the stuff that comes out of their mouth is so
dumb. It's like, what?
Please do not tell me because I am going to laugh in your face. If you get mad, sorry.
But these people are spun up and they got guns. And they're everywhere.
And
everybody is bold with their guns. That's why you get the gun.
But they're all,
no, they get them to protect their Second Amendment rights.
The people on the left.
People haven't even read the Second Amendment.
Yeah, they have no idea what they're talking about. But the people on the left, like myself, who are armed, we don't always go around with our stuff.
And target with that big old pistol.
Because it's not like an extension of what I am as a person. You know what I mean?
Right.
People on the right,
they'll Cal
it's always on them.
Yeah, they'll take pictures. Their Christmas cards.
It's a Cal Rittenhouse thing because they know I'm going to call something that may provoke something, and I'm going to play G.I. Joe.
Marlon, yes, and you just got to my next idiot.
Are deadly.
You just got to my next idiot. Cal Rittenhouse's mother. Why is she not in prison? I'm like, look. I know I'm asking a question I know the answer to.
Oh, okay.
But, don't tell me you going to drive your 17-year-old child to a Black Lives Matter protest. Why? Have you ever
Because
heard the word?
you gotta stop these anti-American commies.
You need to go clean that building. I know you don't have any cleaning equipment whatsoever, just your AK. But
People keep buying into these people's cover stories because we keep centering whiteness. I keep saying this, but it's the truth. We keep centering it. We're giving them the benefit of the doubt, even as we doubt them.
pretty much,
We act like this boy went there because he was radicalized, as though his mother
didn't have nothing to do with
isn't
it.
also radicalized, as if the circle that she is raising him in and the church that he's going to, or the neighbors or the uncles or whatever, we keep buying into this media white centered narrative that of the lone wolf isolated thing. It's never reflective of a wider culture.
Exactly.
But when it's one of our children, it's always reflective of some ill in the society, some ill in the culture, some ill in the family, right?
Yeah.
But when it's them, it's we had a machine, it was putting out really good white people, and then one of them came out defective. Get out of here.
we knew it was going to happen.
Get out of here.
We knew exactly where this was going when the media went. Media loves to perpetrate certain people, and I'm not going to say a name because it may be already on your list. But when you come to that person, I'm going to say another statement. But you knew it was going to go a certain way when every 17-year-old black child is a 17-year-old man or 17-year-old woman.
Yes.
If you're white, you're a 17-year-old boy
or
you're a 17-year-old girl.
And if you're black, we
no.
They never
say teenager. They always say girl or boy. They always try to make you younger and more innocent than what you really are. They can't say teenager because teenagers. Yeah, because teenager means
almost adult.
Almost an adult. No, you got to say child, kid, adolescent. But you can't say teenager. And you certainly can't say man. That's only for us. 17-year-old, 16-year-old, 15-year-old. Those are adults. Those are we are the only race among all minorities, but we are the only race that seems to be, no matter what age we are, we should have known better.
And we're always older.
And we're always older.
It's the weirdest thing. And this is all, it goes into the psychopathy of American whiteness, but it's the culture. And please, folks, don't, not all white people. I know. Okay. But for the ones I'm talking about, they hail from a certain ideology and cultural identity and way of functioning. And that identity has always over-sexualized our women, always made our boys into men and our men into monsters. That's been built in from the time we were forced here in bondage. It is never going away, because you can change the laws, but if you don't change the hearts of man, it doesn't matter.
Yep, you know who said that? Ronald Reagan.
Well,
I'm sorry. He said you can change the laws, but you can't change people's hearts.
But it's a true statement. It really is.
I know, but every time I hear Ronald Reagan, I gotta go, because he was a terrible president.
He was a terrible person.
Oh yeah, he was terrible.
He was a terrible person. But to the Republicans, you can't say that. He's like talking.
No, Trump has overtaken.
Reagan, he's like talking about Lincoln.
No, Trump has overtaken Reagan.
But Trump has overtaken Reagan in the moment. See, the test for Trump is going to be, how do you look back at Trump 10 and 20 years from now? See, Reagan is still beloved 40 years later. Like, he is a political saint in their side. You know what I mean? Trump is a political religious leader, but he ain't reached saint status, because if he had saint status, they wouldn't have turned on him like they did when he turned around and said, yeah, I had a big hand in creating the vaccine, and I should get credit for that, and y'all should get the vaccine, but y'all hate me because I said, hey, I almost died, and this is the stuff that saved my life.
Yep, the one time he told the truth, that boy, they snapped on him. Like he wouldn't.
Because they're not following him. They're using him.
Yeah, and
And
that's
he
true.
knows that they're using him.
Yeah.
So he's scared to go too far out there either. He can go further than a lot of the other nut jobs can. But he knows that he can't afford to go too far
Yeah.
because he doesn't need them, but he needs them.
Yep, he needs them. Because where else he gonna get that free money from?
But see, he's cool though. So he could people think like Trump can't function. Trump could tomorrow get on a plane and go across the water and you'll never get him back.
Sure could.
He could do that if he wanted to. And he'd be perfectly fine for the rest of his life. He got enough assets overseas. You can't hurt him. Only thing you hurt is his pride. And that's why he does the things that he does. You know? But the people who follow Trump and worship at the Trump altar, they'll switch to somebody else if you let them.
Sure. Desantis.
Yeah, Desantis. But here comes my Herschel Walker rant and why I separated him from Black conservatives.
Herschel, are we done with the list?
No, I got two more.
She's moving to Herschel.
Okay.
I'm doing my Herschel rant because I got to get this all out. Why I separate him from Black conservatives. Because Black conservatives, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're all about money.
Yep.
Exactly. Herschel Walker ain't broke in these streets. He not. He made a lot of money through investments. So he has enough money to take care of himself. And I'm going to say this. Herschel Walker was a great college football player, decent USFLer, NFLer. But that does not make him a person to run for office.
But he's a celebrity.
Work for Trump.
He played for sport. He played sports.
Work for Trump.
When I heard him talk, I don't want to say this because it's going to sound so mean for me to say.
No Child Left Behind came too late.
I really thought that. I'm like, what?
Mine is a terrible thing to waste.
I didn't think that one, but I just.
Yeah, he's the egg in the skillet.
I'm just like, this is your brain, and what happened? I'm like, maybe it's CTE. Maybe
Herschel
that's
Walker is one of the reasons why I don't like football, because it does this to people. It takes a young person who shows athletic prowess, and it lets a system take advantage of him and not educate him the way he needs to be educated and cared for, the way he needs to be cared for. Because so long as he can fill the seats on the high school football game on Friday night and in the college stadium on Saturday and then the NFL on Sunday, we don't care about the totality of you. Entertain me, I'll pay you.
But he has no... At least Trump had a policy. It was terrible. He was like Mexico.
Policy that Trump had.
No, let me finish.
He has zero policies.
Let me finish my whole statement.
Sorry.
But Trump had a policy. It was terrible. He was like, let's close the borders. It's a policy. It's terrible.
That is like chalk. That is like
I'm trying to.
I'm sorry, Tracy.
But Herschel Walker, it was like he was when he came out against the Voters' Rights Act. He was like, I've experienced racism. And then 3 sentences down, he said, "There's no race." I'm like, Herschel, you can't have it both ways. You can't.
Herschel was sent. Herschel is Sambo. He was sent to go and stop the other black guy. That's his job.
Do you think he's going? Okay, but things you live in Georgia. What chances does he get the Republican nomination?
There's a good chance.
Okay,
what chance? What chances
have it being Warnock?
Because Raphael Warnock is going to be held up against an impossible standard, and Herschel Walker just has to not be a Democrat.
Well, that's true.
That's it. And so long as I'm going right back to my progressive rant, you knuckleheads out there sitting there on your high horses, willing to sell away what little you got because you didn't get more, and then we get that guy to go and help write laws. That guy?
He can't. I don't even know if he can write. Oh, I felt bad for saying
He'll be in there with the likes of the Boberts and all of them.
Pretty much.
That's what you gonna do? You gonna send that guy because the Democrats are weak and stupid. You're gonna send that guy. And it's a very good chance it can happen because black people are demoralized because we had false expectations for a guy that we didn't even have those expectations for when he got the chair. Like, people have forgotten what we expected out of Biden. Biden has actually outperformed what we wanted from him.
Yeah, he really did. I was like, oh.
Okay.
I'm like, oh,
he outperformed every expectation any of us had for him.
But I do want to know what
we're talking about why he's not better.
I do want to know why they don't like him nor Kamala Harris like Charlemagne the God. I'm like, what?
I don't like Charlemagne. I hate Charlemagne. I hate this strong.
I don't listen to
I can't stand
I love his show. Why am I the only one?
He's messy. He's childish. And he's not consistent. I don't like that.
Oh, he's Wendy Williams.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's Wendy Williams.
I can't like that. I don't like mess. Don't get out there because I know how smart you are to get out there, and I know you could do good work. Because that's how smart this dude is. But he's so smart that he knows how to play the game.
That's true too.
So he does a minstrel show, and he does this cake stuff, and he does his Captain Save 'em, and then he turns around. I don't like him because that means he's just a heartbeat away from taking the Kanye turn. Yeah. He's just a heartbeat away. Nah, I don't like him.
But yeah, I'm just like, if this guy's a senator from Georgia, child.
Can't blame nobody but the people who voted for him, which Georgia, people get twisted about Georgia. Georgia is overwhelmingly conservative.
It sure is.
It's the only thing that ain't is Atlanta, Savannah, Augusta.
And Macon, maybe?
No. Because Macon is treated like an extension of Atlanta, but it's more conservative. Most of Georgia is, just think of Alabama, that's Georgia.
So it's basically the Indiana of the South.
Perhaps. It's definitely like Ohio is the Florida of the Midwest, right? Yeah, I could say that. Because people, especially where I'm at, we live in Metro Atlanta, so we think that this is reality, but it's not.
Yep. And I'm 3 idiots down, and I know y'all not gonna about to argue with my next two. I know y'all not. I bet not hear.
Well, we agree with you on her.
Okay, so my next idiots, they are combined.
Before you say that, have we argued with you on any of them?
Yes. Oh, no, because Biden is going to be in the countdown. You know Biden's going to be on my countdown. You know Biden's going to be on my countdown.
I've already said all I got to say about Biden because I don't like him. But I don't like the criticisms against.
If y'all honestly criticized Biden for the things that he didn't do.
I'm gonna criticize him when he said.
Well, when y'all criticize him for each and every doggone thing that he has no power to do.
Nope,
whatsoever, that's just wrong.
Nope, I'm gonna
blaming him for Congress.
Nope, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna criticize him.
You're the boss. You're supposed to tell Congress what to do. Name a freaking president who have.
Well, no, that's not.
They go back and be like, "Well, Teddy Roosevelt, you went back 60 years."
Teddy Roosevelt. No, but my criticism of Biden is two things. Well, I was gonna say the 2000 child check. When he dropped that racial blast at the master, I'm like, dude, you cannot say that. You can't.
What?
He said what?
He, the person that won the Masters in April is of Asian descent.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He dropped a racial blast, which I'm not gonna say on this show. Not gonna say it. I'm like, dude, you racist, and I don't like it.
But see, here's the thing about it, right? First of all, let's say that he cause see, I don't know that makes. I don't know. I don't care because the morality of some old white guy just doesn't sit high.
Yeah, and I'm like, I think people expected him to be all.
People expect Biden at almost 80 years old to be like Chauncey, who's 28. They didn't grow up in the same world. They did not grow up in the same world. So for a guy who grew up in Jim Crow,
benefited
in it, like came of age,
bill,
20 years old. 20 years old and Jim Crow was still around. kind of guy. Then move into the 90s with the crime bill and all the stuff we did with the credit markets and all that stuff that really screwed all of us and everything. Yes, that guy.
And y'all said, let's elect him.
You wanted the opposite.
No. That's not what I'm going to say. What I'm going to say is that people who say they believe in redemption and restoration are the main ones who won't even think that he's doing better.
I would if he would stop dropping.
Main ones.
If he would stop dropping racial blasts at golfers, I'm like, dude.
I don't care what you say if what you do helps. Because what we've been doing is playing the game backwards, where we have been focusing on people saying they're going to do something and giving them all the benefit of the doubt for saying all the right words while they stab us in the back the whole way along the way. Versus this guy who says stupid stuff, but now he's actually putting, who was instrumental in putting food in black babies' stomachs.
You concerned about a racist comment, which is devastating. You have no business whatsoever saying a racist statement. We are 1 year away from a man who revolutionized racist statements in America that is still going through today.
And still followed up with deeds too.
There are good people on both
children
sides.
From their parents.
That's what started. It's good people on both sides started it.
Proud Boys, stand by, stand back.
Come on,
this guy
now.
Oh, but this man dropped a racial epithet. Oh, throw him out. Throw him out.
I didn't say throw him out.
94 crime bill. Throw him out.
I want 94 crime bill Republican. I dare one little Republican to even bring it up once, because you let Trump slide for 4 years.
And that part I agree with.
But see, they can get away with it because those on the left are so sanctimonious that they're only going to hold on to what benefits their righteous anger. 94 crime bill, I still hold that against the Clintons. I still hold that against Biden. But you know, at the same time, though, that was also 30 years ago. And it was also when black leaders were going to them saying we need to do something. That is also the time when the Bloods and the Crips were running the streets ragged behind the drug game that the CIA dropped into our neighborhood.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So all of this stuff is going on, which means there is no clean solution. There is no clean solution. So now you did what you did. I will always hold that against you, but I also have to add stuff on the tally board for what are you doing now?
That's true. Pulling out of Syria was good. Was it Afghanistan?
If we would start doing that, if you want to criticize, at the very least, criticize case by case,
or do a full picture.
We don't do that.
Do the whole thing.
He didn't sign this. So now I'm going to say he's the worst president since Abraham.
But Mark,
he's no better than a Republican.
Okay, but
was wrong. I'll give you that.
But before I move on to my next edit, let me ask you just a question of clarification. Okay. Didn't Joe Biden say that his campaign win was because of the black community? That's just a yes or no question.
Yep, sure did.
Did he not say I owe the black community?
Yep, he did.
Yep.
When is he gonna do something besides
what do you want him to do? What do you want to do? He gave you a black lady as vice president. He helped get the COVID relief to get through.
That's true. I'll give him that.
He helped get the infrastructure deal, which I don't really care about, but he still got it through there, which is going to give some people some jobs. He also made sure that the child tax credit got advanced to families, disproportionately helping our families. What else you want him to do?
What did he do for the black community?
I said voting rights. That's the only thing I brought up.
What can he do?
See, you're moving the goalposts.
Wait a minute.
The black people got him in office. What did he do for the black community? Thea said he had pulled millions of families out of poverty. Millions.
And the Republicans sent him right back.
Millions. And going to send him right back.
Y'all know I'm going to disagree with y'all on this one. But all I'm saying is, I'm just asking, did he say those two steps? That's all I'm asking.
That's not the point. We agree that he said it. My point is you're saying that what has he done? And my point is he holds some blame because he should use his bully pulpit better. but he can't do anything. It's
of course he
Congress.
can't do it.
It's still
Congress. I got enough sense to know
but ain't
that.
nobody blaming Congress. Ain't nobody blaming
they're terrible
Congress.
too.
They're blaming him.
I do have one thing though, and this
and
is
the Republicans gonna take it all back.
And this is gonna stick with me until whenever he leaves office. Dude, I still know what 600 and 1200 is not the same damn thing.
You mean 2000?
Minus
1400. That's the difference between 600. I figure the government owes me at least $21,000.
Government owes you a whole lot more than that.
A lot more than that. And I'm just
mad about $600.
Acres and a mule.
People mad about $600 and the government owes you millions.
True.
How crazy is that? How nuts is that? I'm sorry. I know the two of you don't agree with me on this particular sticking point. But I'm like, when someone owes you millions and you mad at them about $600, man, if you don't get up out.
But did nobody make him say that statement though?
Be mad at the right stuff.
But nobody made him say that.
Could he cut the check? Could he cut the check?
He could have said something.
Could he cut the check?
No, he couldn't. I'm not saying he could or couldn't. I'm just saying didn't nobody
So we worried about his
that.
words versus the deeds.
Trump put his name
right back where we were.
Trump put his name on the check.
Well, no, he only got one check with him. Or was it two?
I don't remember.
I thought it was one.
I don't remember.
It was one for no, we got two. Because remember that one way back in March?
Oh yeah, because I missed one. That is
right. We got that $1,200.
And he only wanted to give one of them.
Yeah, he only wanted to get. That's true.
Let's be real about that.
Because then they were like, "Oh, we want $2,000."
I was just picking on how petty. I was just picking on how petty he was. He actually put his name on the free.
Yeah,
but that was smart though. If you think about it, that was really.
Why was that smart?
Let me tell you why. I'm telling you why that was smart. Because for his base, not for anybody else that has common sense, they gonna think.
Yeah,
his base already loves him.
Trump gave me this money.
Trump did it because there was going to be somebody who didn't know. So yeah,
that's all I'm saying. That's why I think that was a smart move on that point. But I got to move on to my next idiots, and then we're going to pick our idiot of the year. I'm going to combine these two people. If y'all sit here and try to defend these two, we might
Tracy,
have to
we haven't fought you yet.
Yeah, did. Y'all fought me on Biden.
Well, we fought. Okay, one out of how many now? 20?
I actually agree on all of your criticisms of him. I disagree on where the blame lies. That's where we.
Okay.
Well, my next idiots are Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema.
Manchin's worse.
I don't know. I think Sinema is worse because she's so deceptive. I remember the campaign. I remember when she was in Congress. And she was all full of these great progressive ideas and talking about how people should get away.
And then
she just got to the Senate and was like, whatever, I'm here for me.
Here's why I give it to Manchin. I give it to Manchin because Sinema wasn't the vote that stopped the child tax credit from continuing. Manchin was.
And Manchin said he couldn't go back to the people of West Virginia and convince them that the tax credit. Oh,
he's the vote.
Now,
Sinema is terrible because she's blocking everything else because of the tax credit, the tax cuts, and all that stuff, right?
But was she like that the whole time when we missed it?
But that's politics 101. She came in and then she flipped when she got the seat and she did what she did because she realized there was a vacuum of power and she was able to play a game. But Manchin literally took families who were like, we can buy groceries, we can pay the electric bill, and then January you ain't getting that. You ain't getting that.
And his excuse.
Why? Because somebody hurt my feelings.
Dang,
that's why he killed the bill.
Oh,
he killed the bill because someone hurt his feelings.
This is my day though. This is why I give it to Selma. Because I can sit there and use the whole thing about her lying her way into office, which is pretty much what she did. She lied her way into office. But here's why I give it to Sinema. Why?
Yeah, what was she? What's the end game with her?
And that's my part why I give it to
just wants the
Cinema.
money.
She don't even have the guts to even say why. Manchin, I know, is full of crap, but at least he'll tell you and we'll sit
Yeah,
there
my
and go,
feelings was her dumb
Manchin,
reason.
you're full of crap, Manchin.
But he won't tell the truth because he won't tell you that it's his
I'm
donors
not
and
even
the
saying
oil
that. I'm not
companies
even
and all
saying
that
that.
stuff.
I know he's lying. We know he's lying. He's going to lie his way in. Cinema, you coward, won't even say a freaking word.
She thumbs down the $15 minimum wage. I'm like, girl.
You more determined to be crying about being caught in the bathroom. They're asking you, and granted, I get that. For me personally, yeah, I can see how that's a scary freaking moment. You literally in 4 walls, a floor, and a ceiling. If something was to kick off, I get that. But the people still asking you the same question. The people was asking you the same question in the bathroom. The people was asking you the same thing in the airports. The people was asking you the same thing walking down the hallway, which you decided, excuse me, I think that's very rude, while you go talk to a freaking Republican.
But Marlon, you know what else makes her bad? She arrested protesters outside of her office, and one of them included Bishop Barber. I'm like, girl, something wrong with you. Joe Manchin is a creep. He's an idiot. But I don't remember him having his protesters arrested. She had her protesters arrested.
Christian Cinema will go down as a very huge coward.
Yeah, I'm just like, Cinema, she edges him out just for that one reason and that one reason only.
Who's going to starve or die because she had somebody arrested outside her office?
The people of Arizona. That's who she represents.
She ain't starving
the same people that's going to starve and die because of what Manchin did.
Yeah,
she was actually going to vote for that because I still believe that Manchin is a linchpin because everybody's hiding behind Manchin. Don't nobody want to stand out there by themselves. Manchin's the only one, even though he's not the only one. You know what I mean? Like there's like good 4 or 5 of them out there, but he's the one who has enough seniority, who has enough protection in his state, and has enough ego to be like, yeah, I'll put it all on me. Let's go. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? But if he turned around and was like, all right, I'll vote for it. Let's do it. Cinema would not stand by herself. She's a coward. She wouldn't do it.
She had protesters arrested, though.
But she's protected. So that's what she's doing. She's a coward. She's a bad person. She's a bad person.
She's worse than Manchin. I'm sorry. She's worse.
All right. Okay. Well, we
in my opinion.
Yeah, we just disagree on that part. That's cool.
My top idiot. Oh no, I'll let you guys name your top idiot, and then I'm gonna name mine.
Oh no, go ahead.
I want you guys to go first.
Because you did not name them.
No, that's why I want you guys to go first, because mine is a group of people.
Okay, go ahead, Theus, because I got mine.
Who was mine? I just gave y'all one of mine. Let me see who mine was. I'm not 100% sure who. Yeah, I don't know because I've already gone on my little tirade. Marlon, you're gonna have to bail me out on this one, man. I gotta think about this a little harder.
People of the year.
Idiots.
Of the year.
Yes.
The parents of Ethan Crumbley.
Oh, they was my runner-ups, but they not my pick, but they my runner-ups.
I could not imagine the worst of the worst in every category. Parenting, friendship, whatever. You set your son up, who was not all there to freaking begin with, and you helped that along really well by getting him a gun.
They raised that little monster.
But then you thought that would top it off. Nope. We're going to abandon our son by making a run for it. But are we done there? Nope. Because you idiots would go to one of the most populated cities in the United States, going to Detroit.
And park a car outside the hideout.
In a basement.
Park a car outside the hideout.
They wanted to be found. They had to want to be found. Because that's dumb. You just going to go to Detroit like that and expect nobody to see? Okay. But no, they was my runner-ups, but they were not my pick. So, Theus, have you thought about yours?
I really don't think I have anybody else.
Okay. Well, here's my idiots of the year, and they are a group of idiots.
And you better not start the story off, and you better not fight me on
No,
okay.
I'm not, because this is my pick. No matter what you say, the idiotic nimwit dummies that went to Washington D.C. and on January the 6th, they thought for some dumb reason they was gonna overturn an election. How stupid are you? You listen to an orange-faced man tell you, I'll be right there with you. And you know what he did? He went right back to the White House, packed up his stuff because he knew he had lost. You, group of people that went there and unfortunately caused the deaths of 4 police officers, 3 by suicide. And
they was tourists.
And yeah, and you got the media to call you
they
tourists.
All hugging and loving.
You group of people are my true idiots of 2021. I know there was some runner-ups, but this is my clear choice.
To be totally honest with you, yeah.
I don't know.
I can't even fight that one.
I don't know.
Because we're literally talking about a group of people that was whipped up in such a frenzy that your bright idea was we're going to break it to the Capitol.
And make them overturn.
And make them overturn the election.
That means if their theory holds out, let's just say Biden loses in 2024. That means Kamala Harris could be like, oh well, I'm gonna just make you win. It don't work like that.
I think that that's only true if you believe that the riot was spontaneous.
Oh, it was planned. It was definitely planned.
So given that it was planned, because they had weapons, they had tools, they had if you've ever been to DC, hotels. you don't have enough random objects to do what they did, right? Yeah. There aren't extra riot shields and helmets just lying around for you to round up.
One of their speakers had on one of those shield jackets that you wear.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to figure out the dude that bought the bear spray.
Right.
Yeah,
so,
what was you
doing? When have I ever gone?
I'm gonna make them overturn elections. So let me go get my bear spray.
We black folk. There's a different culture you're dealing with. But my point is that I can't call them stupid because to me they were the vanguard. There were people who got swept up in it that were there just for the protests, but it was well structured for multiple groups. That's why out of all those people who got arrested that day, we've only heard of like 20 of them that have been sent home with little random things that they've been doing. They got like 200 of them still sitting up in there. This stuff was very well coordinated. So stupid, I don't think so. Because look what they got from it.
Nothing.
Yeah, they got a lot from it.
Biden is
they
still
got
president.
A lot from it.
But they didn't get their ultimate goals.
We don't know that yet. You see, we're thinking their ultimate goal, we're thinking like people on the left. See, people on the left, we're lazy. We just want an instant gratification win. That's not how the right functions. They push movements. They push long-term things. They do incremental wins while they're over here creating a mess for everybody to be distracted by. They want to destabilize the government. They want to take over the state governments. They want to make sure that they can take over the election boards all across the country. They want to make sure they can take over the school boards all across the country. And it all came on the heels of January 6th, which was a show of force to show what could happen if you do not listen to me. So it's like it's all part of one big thing, as opposed to how we in the public are trying to consume it because we don't want it to be true. And we don't want it to be true in the legacy media or national media, whatever the right terminology is for them nowadays. They don't want us to be afraid of that. So they also play this game where it's like, oh yeah, this was terrible. It was an attack on the nation's capital, but we got them. We got them, folks. We got them.
Yeah, you don't even have 10% of the people who did it.
Get nothing. Half of them went back home, and now you have people who were at the insurrection who are winning political office.
That was always my favorite thing. Is we got them, dude. I count 3 people that you caught at the airport. There were thousands of them running through there.
Yeah.
You caught 3.
And
at
patting
the
yourself on the
airport.
back like you done did something.
Because that's all the American public, the wider public, really, because we're all busy. So we're not keeping track of it like that. We're not looking at the real story. We're not picking up the Vice News documentaries that are falling out every 6 months about these different groups and these different religious groups.
But the thing
and all these things.
The thing about the January 6th thing that really made me pick them, one, because obviously they're a bunch of terrorists, but the political world and their response to it, I got some real problems with, especially Mike Pence. Dude, they was chanting, hang Mike Pence. You gonna sit here and tell me they was tourists? Nah, bruh.
Once your soul is gone.
Yeah, he doesn't have one.
It's all about money.
He looks in the mirror and don't even see a reflection.
Mike Pence is also trying to protect himself. Because what have we now watched? We have watched where death threats have been put against elected officials and voting officials all across the country. And the FBI isn't doing anything.
Nope.
Nothing. Right? So Mike Pence wasn't well protected at the Capitol. I mean, they kept him alive because they got him out of there. But he's not the vice president anymore. Nope. So he ain't got that level of protection no more.
He sure doesn't.
So if he doesn't kiss the ring.
Yeah, he's trying to stay alive.
Exactly. So what does a coward do? They do cowardly things. And he's like, yo, I can either take the track of saying, no, Donald Trump, here's where I'm laying down the law. And he will be left out in the woods.
Yep.
And they will come get him in the woods.
And if they don't believe it, they're doing it to Trump.
They're doing it to Trump. They did it to any Republicans who voted for the infrastructure bill.
Yep, they got crucified.
Are getting pushed out of office.
I'm like, huh?
Wild.
But that's where it's at.
And then on the Democratic side, which is where I'm completely just disgusted with the party, it's not the Republicans are obstructing, yes, because they're in lockstep. But it's the Democrats who are literally letting everything go wrong. But I still hold the Republicans more at fault because they're the ones who are actually causing the harm.
Yeah, they started the fire. Yep. So everybody who watched this pop-up podcast, which I should have did last Thursday, but y'all know why I didn't. I want to thank you all. I would like you to comment, like, share, subscribe, and support me on Patreon. I've got some fantastic plans for 2022. It's going to be a great year. I know it is. I can feel it. It's going to be a great year. I've got great things planned. Theas and Marlon, tell us where we can find you.
For me, everybody, please just go to complexsimpleman.com. Everything will be there. Really excited about 2022. Like Tracy was saying, we're going to be doing a lot of community outreach. We're going to help take care of our seniors and we're going to help take care of our kids. That's what we're going to be focused on. So hopefully you guys will join me in that.
Radical Truth to Power every Sunday at 9. Saturday Night Vibe every Saturday at 9. Once again, my main goal is to get as much subscribers as I possibly can by the end of the year.
Yep, and of course, y'all all know you can find me on Tracy Media, Tracy Media LLC on all platforms. You will not see Thursdays with Tracy until January the 13th. Like I said, this was the makeup one for Thursday that I didn't do. But I want to thank everyone. Have a great evening, and we'll see y'all later.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.